Public Connect, special Friday night audit. Stay tuned.
Craig Sullivan, you have got the most amazing shirt I've ever seen in my life. What is that all about?
Hey, that's promoting our other show, 3 Minute Thursday.
Holy shit, dude. What have we done? The mistakes that we're making right now, unbelievable.
We're going to haunt us for years. Are you kidding me?
Craig Sullivan, for the first time in weeks, I'm back here in the home studio. I can't believe it. I've been traveling all over. I've been here. I've been there. I've been to the supermarket. I've been to the Native American Indian reservation to acquire some treats that I may or may not enjoy on a regular basis. And I don't know what's going on. I certainly, after visiting there and finding some spiritual awareness, have no idea what time it is.
It's time for an audit. Glenn Hausman.
Yes, Pineapple
You know what
Man.
this is? You know what this is?
Your son?
Yes. And you've been eating my children, you cannibal.
Sorry, they're just so
You and your umbrella drinks.
They're just
Got to stop that shit.
I can't help it. Listen, you
Look at, you're
know
killing
that
my
I haven't
family. This is
matured
the
enough
last
to the hard
sibling.
stuff. I need to have that sugary, delicious, pineapple-y taste. Plus, it reminds me of the true spirit of hospitality. Ah!
Really?
Yeah. Oh, now that's scary.
There you go.
Right over there. I just
There.
say, hey, everybody, welcome to the one and only Friday Night Out, the only show in hospitality lacking any and all self-awareness. Because if we had any, I'm sure we wouldn't like what we'd see. Head out over there. Got Mr. Craig Sullivan. I'm Glenn Hausman. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You know what we are missing over here? We are missing our banner. There we go. I got to get our official logo on over there. Craig, it is so good to see you. Happy Friday to you. Or as some people say in emails, Friday.
And you know what? Happy Lunar New Year.
Yes.
Everybody can relax. Their furniture goes back into production on Monday.
I know. Woo. It's time to start planning because you got to get your order in real quick before they start celebrating the next Lunar New Year. So everybody's got about 2 weeks to get everything done.
There we go. I see Arnie Garfinkel's with us today.
Now, who can say Happy New Year in Chinese?
I would bet my son Benjamin can, since he's been taking Mandarin for several years. And if he can't, then I'm suing Brandeis.
Well, how about your producer Dave can?
Refund. Full semester refund.
Kung Hei Fa Choi.
Look at this. Carol just put this up at the same exact moment.
There we go. Way to go, Carol.
And that was totally legit. You
Nice,
got
Carol.
that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Love that.
All right, Dave.
That's the person of having half of my housekeeping team be Chinese.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, I want a drink. Even though I'm not too thrilled with who our guest is today, you know, I really
come on, he's a friend of the show.
Dude,
he should run down the street and punch you in the face for that statement.
I said we got to stop with this guy. I can't stand him. It's like his presence is offensive to me. But you keep bringing him back. All right,
that sounds like this show to most people.
He's a good guy.
Oh wait. We have CJ on. Never mind. I thought we were talking about. Somebody else over there.
Oh.
All right. Introduce our guest, Craig.
CJ Arlotta, Christopher Joseph Arlotta, CJ Media Solutions, and now I believe he is only 4 behind Mr. Ford.
You know, guys, I'm not feeling the love at all. All right, so I'm already 4 behind.
I was defending you.
Then I saw that you had a Bruce Ford face that you put on. And then I even noticed that in the intro, there's a picture of Bruce Ford.
I know.
So the odds are stacked against me.
Right, they really are. But if you notice in the picture,
Yeah, but these don't
Bruce,
count.
if you see that picture of Bruce, he's actually not looking at the camera. He's staring off at the scoreboard of how he's beating you on appearances.
I know.
Here.
I know. I'm gonna have to come on the show
Yeah.
more often. We're gonna have to put this on my calendar. We're gonna have to get a face of me.
CJ, I talked to Glenn yesterday.
Yeah.
He's expecting you in the summer when he's home to just come
sure.
cruising through the backyard while he's doing the show.
Every
sure.
Friday of the summer, I'll spend with you guys.
Deliver that pie for him, okay?
And I'll say over here in the tri-state area, it was in the low 50s today in February, a near high. So I did when I went to go get my lunch today. I was like, maybe I'll do the show from outside. Dave chose to, but then I remembered as soon as it starts getting a little dark out, it's gonna get chilly
Gets a little
quickie.
chilly.
Yeah, but I ain't no punk.
Oh, I guess you've been told.
Shots fired
Hey,
already.
David, time to run that
5 minutes
cocktail
in.
footage.
I'm gonna
Somebody
run
needs-
it right. For the rest of the show, I will not touch any controls until the end. DJ, what are you drinking tonight, buddy?
I am drinking some Irish whiskey
Nice.
from Slane Distillery.
Did you purchase that over there and bring it back with you, or did you learn to love it and find it locally?
I did not. It was shipped to us.
Ah, cool.
We went to the distillery while we were there in Slane.
There you go.
Delicious, and decided to bring it on the show tonight.
Nice. What makes it
Very
special
nice.
compared to others that you've had?
Well, it is very tasty. I'm not usually a big
So the
fan
other
of.
stuff is just shit.
I'm not a big fan of Irish whiskey to begin with. I mean, really.
How dare you?
Right.
I know,
yeah,
I
dude,
know.
you're gonna get yourself canceled.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say. But honestly, I mean, usually when I'm drinking Irish whiskey, it's usually Jameson. And if I'm drinking Jameson, it's usually shots at the bar, Jameson. But that's
Right.
pretty much it. Haven't
So
really
it that kind of like colored your experience, kind of like how me drinking shots of tequila in college that made you sick was different than my rediscovery of tequila a number of years ago. Yeah.
Exactly. Except for college, for
Bless you,
us,
David.
we had Jägermeister, which
Oh, the Jägermeister is eternal.
Oh,
you had that freshman
you
year, and
drinking
that's
a lot
it.
of Harbor Light?
I haven't had anything since.
I think it usually goes peach schnapps,
Yeah.
Fireball, then Jägermeister, right?
Yep.
Oh my
Well,
God.
Glenn, I think they're trying to make a comeback. I don't know if you noticed, but in the Delta terminal at JFK, they have like a little setup.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
notice
next time you
that.
go, they had some. I don't know if
will.
it's still there, but I think they're trying to make a return.
Well, I think it's important before we continue talking about that. Happy weekend, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that each and every one of you made it
Happy
through the
weekend.
week. Woo! I just feel like this week I lived my principle of just do one more thing. So I'm feeling pretty good today, because sometimes when you get to the end of the week, you do that self-assessment, right? You know, if
You
you've been
sure that's not
slacking off
because
all
you're home
week,
alone all weekend?
that might be
That could be
true.
too.
I am home
David.
alone
Good
this
point.
weekend. Anyway, cheers. Yeah. mhm.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Hopefully he doesn't
Yep.
burn the house down.
My wife is off to a girls' weekend in Florida. She's on the plane right now. So I would just like to apologize on her behalf to whoever's sitting next to her. I'm sorry. She's repeatedly saying, "I'm going to die. We're going to die. We're going to die. We're going to die."
So
Sorry.
she's not good with flying.
She's
Unlike
actually, you know what? She used to be really, 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 really bad.
Yeah.
But now she's gotten to the point where she still thinks she is, but she's gotten a lot better.
Okay.
So she doesn't have.
So she married someone who flies for a living. Makes total
Totally, yeah, but
Yeah,
what
yeah.
she yeah, I don't know. It's really
Glenn, is
weird.
it worse if she's traveling alone?
There's nothing worse than traveling with Glenn. I can tell you that.
It's not worse. It's not worse for me.
Ooh.
I have proof. I have lived that
Oh
life
my
of traveling
God.
with Glenn. He almost killed me in the Catskills, literally.
Glenn, it would be really funny if your bride was watching this show after she gets off the plane.
Yeah, but fortunately, my family has zero interest in anything that I do, so I don't think that's at risk of.
You're not worried about it.
But honestly, I say this the truth. She's so much better now at flying than she thinks she is, and she's fine. But you gotta have a little fun and make fun of the family.
What would you do if you were watching somebody saw somebody on a flight watching air disasters? on the plane.
I don't think I would care at this point, but it is a
I
little
wouldn't care,
weird.
but
Yeah.
well, my dad, a couple of years ago, we were flying to Florida to go on a cruise, and my dad was watching air disasters the night before the flight.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. I've seen
no.
some of those specials. World's craziest airport disasters. You know, that kind of. Watch out for that reruns. So, Carol, I'm not worried about reruns because when ABC airs them over summer while we're on hiatus, I'm going to make sure she's out at a barbecue the night that it runs. So there's no other way for anyone to watch any of these things except that time. So I think I'm going to be safe. Thank God we don't live in a world where everything you say or do is recorded in perpetuity and housed somewhere.
Imagine that.
Imagine.
What was life like before that, guys?
Yeah, it's really funny to think about. It's really funny to think about that because it was.
Dave and I would like to know.
Yeah,
Great question.
It was definitely a simpler. It was definitely
now, but no. All jokes aside, if you really think about it, CJ and I, because I think we're about the same age, right? CJ, how old are you?
I turned 35 at the end of the month.
Okay, so
probably have me back for my birthday. I mean,
you should.
Oh yeah,
Oh
now we have to.
Birthday show.
All right, so you're 35, I'm 36, so we're in the same age bracket. So we were, we luckily, I feel like, made it through college and the last ones to not have everything documented in real time. There's at least that 24 to 40 hour delay
it took
right.
while people upload the digital camera
to the folder on Facebook,
Yes.
right? You had to know somebody who could upload them too.
Yes, there was time difference. There was
Not
ability.
only that, but the quality of the images was still pretty sketchy. So
Very
you lucked
sketchy.
out. Now everybody's got, a cinematographer's kit in their pocket,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then everything's documented in real time. So all the, CJ, we still escaped our drunken debauchery of not making it onto the interweb.
We did, I think.
Well,
we'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out.
Well, let's do a quick Google.
Well, you're on this show, so there's a record now.
If one of us runs for office one day, we'll find out, I guess.
There's a reason why.
Hey, that's one of our announcements later in the show with Glenn. So,
excuse me.
After the big Netflix
we want somebody who's not 100 years old in the White House.
There we go. That's recent, though. How nice.
You do have that.
So that's what came up when I typed in CJ Arlotta drunk. That's what came up on Google.
I probably have to add wine there. That's pretty much it. But that's
oh my God.
I love that.
That's pretty awesome. So, CJ, where in the world have you been lately?
Down the street from you.
Down the street from Glenn. I was in Charleston in January. I'll be back in Charleston at the end of this month.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in California to see Craig at the conference. And Glenn, you'll also be there.
Dave, too.
Dave, you're going.
David, too. Yeah.
It's a click. I'll be there.
So I'll see everybody. And then I'll also be at Hunter in Atlanta.
Oh, the good news
and
is
you were in Dublin earlier this month.
I was in Dublin for New Year's.
Yeah, that was we've got proof.
That was actually, so believe it or not, I'm going to say this on the show, and I'm going to get a lot of crap for it, but it was actually my first time in Europe.
Really?
Wow. I've never been to Europe.
Okay. All right. Yeah, my first
I love Dublin. Dublin and London are two of my favorites.
I've barely been west of the Mississippi.
still
in California 3 times, Vegas once. That might be it.
Does Vegas really count? You were there for hours.
No, I was there for 3 days.
Oh, that's enough.
Vegas?
3 days is it's good enough for Vegas. Any more than
And Salt Lake City.
You were there just for hours.
I've never been to Vegas for only 3 days.
Oh, really?
I was going to go to Vegas for hours when I was going to go fly out there during COVID to help Anthony with a show at Park MGM. I was supposed to fly out there, do the show, fly back the next day because I had to go back to a vacation with my family. But then, I don't know, something happened. They got put on a banned list. I couldn't make it. I don't know.
But you know what? I mean, being in the hospitality space, everybody's traveling all over the place and, international and national. And so me not being, in Europe at all, you feel like you're the only one, right?
I totally get that, CJ.
Yeah.
I felt that way about China for a big chunk of my career.
Because that's your Japan trip going.
Everybody would be talking with each other. Oh, China this, China that. When I was over there, and I was doing this and that. And it just made me feel like I've never been anywhere,
right?
And it just feels so awkward because you can't share anything in conversations,
right?
Stuff like that.
I still haven't been to China, so
well, it was great.
Well, why don't you? How's that? I mean, can you update us update us on that Japan trip?
The way Suzanne is saying, for almost the same age, CJ brings way more elegance to the show.
That's very rich. That's very rich that someone's talking about elegance who lives in South Florida. That's the most elegant place in our country.
Eloquent, Dave.
Eloquent.
Well, there's a couple other states I'd rank above that than Florida. Okay.
I mean, they're all down the southeast, right? I'm assuming you mean Mississippi. Although I still want to go to Biloxi, Louisiana.
Biloxi is. I thought going to Biloxi. I went there when the casinos were a much bigger thing, and there were very few of them still, because it was kind of like it was Vegas, Atlantic City, and then like Mississippi and stuff had them. So it was really cool going down there and seeing all of those things. So I've been to Biloxi and I like it. Oh my God, Suzanne's showing off. It's 75 degrees today. Oh, God damn it.
Good for you, Suzanne.
I don't listen. Don't be upset. This is a great day today up in the northeastern mid-Atlantic area.
I actually thought it was.
Let's bring back the pineapple for Suzanne.
I was able when I picked up my lunch, I was walking to my car and I'm like, this is an incredibly glorious day. It's a shame that it's so hot in February. I'm probably going to be dying in July.
Oh, this
I can't
is fantastic,
stand it. Why? Yeah.
Glenn, are you one of those people you want more snow right now? Is that what it is?
I'm just really worried that summer's going to be too hot if it's too warm now.
Okay.
And or it'll be too rainy or too something. I'm very weather superstitious.
Oh God, no! Last year's summer was so bad. It was the worst. It just rained every single day. It felt like, and every Friday it felt like I would try to be doing the show from out here.
Yeah,
it'd be raining or 1,000% humidity.
But last winter was phenomenal. Beautiful weather. I was outside every day.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So maybe you also got to remember with Glenn.
Good for you, Susie.
You got to remember, CJ, with Glenn, he only used his pool 3 times last summer.
Yeah, it was a freaking mess.
Glenn, let's do a show in the summer, and we'll have a pool party.
No, we really need to. I really would love to do like Friday night out at pool party live from the House and Resort Pool Club and Smokehouse. I just
that involves me driving to Long Island on a Friday in the summer, which will never happen.
Dave, he's got a beautiful backyard, though. He really does.
It does, but
hey, David,
that beautiful backyard. I have to drive through freaking Staten Island, across the Verrazano.
It's not great.
Out through freaking stupid Queens on the LIE. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Before we went on air, Dave was like, "Your wife's out of town. Why don't you come out to my house? You could have worked here."
But it's freaking February.
Right. It's so much easier the other way, apparently.
Yeah, and so much better to do it in the dead of winter than.
Wait. Let's compare it. We're talking about February, and we're talking about coming away from the island versus going into the island on a Friday in the summer.
What? Well,
it doesn't even compare.
All right.
It doesn't. But David, why don't you bring up that footage of?
Before you do that, I want to bring up one more, Dave. I want to bring up Mr. Cards'
I was going to know. We're going to get
all right, we'll get to that. Sorry, we'll get to that.
Turn up the volume, Dave.
I'm trying to run my show.
I'm gonna let you drive the show because
whose little white bubble says I run the show? It's not yours.
I want everybody to know right now. I feel bad, Dave, because I do want you to run the show. It's better when I don't have to think about it and I can just.
Right,
Glenn. This is practice for you for in a couple of weeks. Right?
This is, dude, man. Yeah. I was saying before we went on air, I'm doing a panel as a guest on it, and I'm very concerned that I'm going to do exactly the same thing and try to take over the panel.
Hey, we're already laying odds in Vegas that you are.
Seriously, I'm so it's like I'd like to think of myself as not a control freak, but
you are
really apparent that I'm fooling myself in the deepest way possible, which makes my line at the beginning of the show about lack of self-awareness even more true, by the way.
Glenn and I have been doing shows now in some capacity for what, 3.5 years or so,
bro. A long time.
I mean, not including 2018, right? So March 2020, when the pandemic started, we got
like
together
4 years ago already.
And yet still, to this day, will drop guests in and out. He still, to this day, will put up comments after I put them up. You think he would have learned by now? 4 years later, we have learned nothing. We've progressed nowhere. There's been no progress forward.
So you guys,
Oh, sorry, CJ, go on.
No, so you guys connected four years ago. Craig and Glenn, when did you guys first come together to start doing these shows?
Over 20 years. Well, the shows, our friendship started over 20 years ago.
Okay.
this show, we've done 100. This is our 128th episode.
27.
So
Don't get ahead of
27.
yourself there, Craig. Come on. Jesus Christ.
But we came up with this idea.
I'd say about 128 weeks ago.
128 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was just like, hey, we were having conversations, having cocktails, and
It was a drunk
let's
thought.
bring this to the show.
Yeah.
And he goes, great. And he goes, what do you call that thing on Fridays? We call it Friday night. And it's audit. He goes, that's it. And within a week, 10 days, we had our first show. We had the opening,
I still remember Glenn.
credits and all that done.
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad.
encourage everybody to watch those first episodes when we put effort into this.
They're really bad. Way too much tequila. Those
So I want everybody to know I'm doing everything I can to prevent myself from putting up the last comment from Mr. Cards. So, the one from.
All right, well, let's
either bring it up, David, or put
we're
up
talking.
the movie.
Well, we're talking about, all these different places we can go. Now, there is a place that I'm very likely to visit Glenn one day. There's actually a better chance I visit Glenn at this location than at his Long Island location and Friday in the summer, because there's no chance that I'm going towards the Hamptons on a Friday. And that's, to be fair, doesn't matter. I still have to go that way.
All right.
To be fair, I feel the same way about the Jersey
way.
Shore. I'm not going on the Parkway South on a Friday night. It's the same deal. But let's get an update.
That's why you come out. That's why you come out on Friday really early or Thursday evening.
I mean, like
And you leave Monday.
like Kyle recommended you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Boom. I didn't even see that because I'm connecting myself from those comments, so I'm not tempted.
Attaboy. All right, so let's get an update real quick on Glenn Houseman Pool House, Clubhouse, Smokehouse, Dispensary, Resort, and Brewery 2.0.
Turn the volume up, David.
It's there. The house is looking about 95, 97% completed. Can't wait. Get another view of the boat. The house looking good, Glenn.
Wow, that's really coming along.
Wow.
Glenn, you're surprised for David showed up. His houseboat. Looks like we started that. Very cool. You're not leaving it in Jersey. Look at that.
The joke I wanted to make, but I'm totally forgetting his name. Who's the dude that lived in OJ's little shack that was famous for 20 minutes?
That's
Not you kid.
before our time.
I'm talking to that guy.
Yeah.
Cato Kalin.
Yeah, he was
Cato
the
Kalin.
Cato Kalin.
Yeah, Dave, you could be my Cato Kalin.
That boat, does he have to take care of all those plants? I mean, around.
Yeah.
I mean, water everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
What?
They have
Glenn
people that do
diverted
that.
funds from his house to get David's houseboat there, the furniture there, and the house plants there. And I think it's a brilliant idea, David.
I got some environmental
you
credit.
got your place out on the West Coast. There we go. There we go.
Picture Cato Kalin on the.
Now, what are our thoughts about the color aesthetics of the house? It's very, very hard line. Looks like black and white with really nothing else going on there. What are our thoughts on the
a
design
dark
of the house?
green. It's actually a dark green.
That was green?
Yeah. And there was no cloud cover when I filmed that. And unfortunately, I didn't have a polarization lens. So very hard to tell, but it's a very dark forest green that looks absolutely beautiful. And the outside basically is done other than, Glenn, your outdoor kitchen. And
I would love. One of my fantasies is to have a real outdoor kitchen.
Yeah.
And live in a place that I could use it for more than 20 minutes a year.
It goes up on the deck where you see the fireplace on the green part of the house, and that's also where his water slide's supposed to go into the ocean or into the bay from there, and that's not here yet either.
For the
But
record, if that was
looking
really
good.
my house, there would
New
never be a
dock.
water slide because I would not want to go into that water. It'd be too chilly for me in California.
But
Well,
other
Hey,
people
you get a
may.
wetsuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. September.
guys-
Good.
Do you guys know, Craig, who I asked this once before. Also, they have to replace the flag there, I see. But
Yeah.
do you guys know who owns the house and who's developing this?
I could find out, but I choose not to because I feel that I've already invaded their privacy enough. So as far as I know, Glenn Hausman's building that house.
Nick is.
I can't wait for
Hello,
Craig
Jelly.
to get confronted by the owner of the house one day because he's filming their house every other week for the Friday night.
No, I haven't done it for a
You know,
while.
Craig, you should go knock on the door. You should go knock on the door and ask him a question, Craig.
I
Wouldn't
feel
it
like
so
some
great if you go
uniformed
ask him a
gentlemen are
question?
going to show up at his house at some point, at Craig's house, right?
Glenn, bring up that slide I sent you. Would you please?
I absolutely shall bring up that slide. I just wanted you to know I'm not over seeking Dave. That was a direct request. All right, here we go.
So, David, I know you won't ask questions on the street, so we're getting you in an adult inflatable squid suit to walk down the streets of Manhattan while you're being filmed.
That would be one of the least weird things you see in Midtown Manhattan on a daily basis.
Good. I'm glad you're going to do that for us. And you in the terminal getting on the train wearing Squidly should be a lot of fun too.
I don't take the train.
But you guys aren't asking the question, who left what did the 3 reviews say about that costume? That's what I want to know.
Oh, we're not. Trust me, I cut those out on purpose.
That's a wonderful question, CJ.
Well, it is. It's
But
5
it's got
stars.
5 stars.
All 3 reviews. People seem to love it. That must be the owner of the company and
The
his
right
sons.
fit, doesn't run too large or small. It works out.
Can you change Dave's name tag to Squidly?
I mean, he could, but then I'll just cut the show off early again. It'll be the first time.
So I had a friend that insisted on calling me Squiggy as my nickname because Glenn is like Lenny. Glenny rhymed with Lenny, and Squiggy was Lenny's friend.
Squiggy.
So I'm
Yeah.
Squiggy. I'm like, that's the dumbest effing thing I ever heard.
That's
of.
way too much thinking for me.
That's way overthinking something. So, hey, David, why don't you bring up that picture you've got?
Wow.
I know Craig did a lot of work.
Lot
Craig was
going
sick
on.
all week. He had a lot of work
all
to do.
know that Glenn
didn't
has
come
a
with that picture.
syndrome, and we need to take care of him. So,
Are we going to set up a new charity over here?
We are. Glenn has got croc feet, so we need to help him out. So if you could make a donation to Glenn.
That is really uncomfortable to look at.
I know, it really is. I don't know where Craig finds these things.
I don't know. You wanna make us uncomfortable the entire time? That's just so bizarre.
Craig finds himself in a very weird part of the internet all too often.
Hey, when I'm sick, I spend way too much time on Pinterest, okay?
Yeah,
at least they got you off this stupid video website.
I stopped doing that a while ago. I canceled the subscription.
I'd like to think that if I lived where you lived, I'd want to be outdoors. You know?
Yeah, well, when it's been raining for 10 days and nights, and it's like, no.
He's been sick and it's been a monsoon the entire time.
This has not been the last 10 days.
Glenn, we had that recently though with the sun. It was the first time we saw the sun. What was it?
I know.
Like a week ago or
Good
something.
month.
Did you guys see that
I
thing
don't know.
about
I was out of town a
Toronto?
lot.
Oh,
What?
Did you see that thing about Toronto?
no.
That they've only had like 10 days of sun all winter.
Wow.
I really thought he was going to say they enacted a law where you could put ketchup on a hot dog.
The Canadian are not that silly. Come on.
New York though is they would pass something like that. You know?
Yeah.
Sorry, I lied. This is as of 3 weeks ago. Toronto has only seen 30 hours of sun this winter,
Wow.
as reported by breakfasttelevision.ca.
Wow. And you know how reputedly awesome they are. Much better than lunch television. Those guys suck.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, breakfast television's always better. Ask Kathy Lee.
Kathy Lee. Are you talking about Regis era or Hoda era?
Yeah, no, Regis.
Okay.
Do you remember when that show was based in L.A. and Steve Garvey's wife was his co-host?
Could we alienate Dave and our guest even more?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure we
You don't
can.
see us just sitting here quietly. This is really connecting with
I'm
the
just
audience.
nodding my head. Yes.
Yeah. Let's.
Nod
Okay,
and
guys.
That's a
wave,
good
boys.
PR
Nod and
person.
wave.
Next, guys, we're going to talk about the phenomenon of Luke and Laura. So stay tuned.
CJ, let's just start talking about TRL. We'll just dry them out. We'll just do the same thing to them. It's okay.
Hey, listen, I know all about guys. You could F off because I know all about TRL because for those of you who don't know, I was heavily involved in the music video business in the 1990s while I was in hospitality. My buddy was cutting all the top music videos in the hip hop genre. So we were very connected to what was going on MTV and how popular TRL was and what was going on BET at the time. It was pretty cool.
Do they still make music videos? Is that a thing?
I don't think they've made a music video since.
They do, but they're on the Vivo on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, everything is on Vivo, but you think it's at YouTube, but it's really on Vivo or something like that if it's a music video.
Yeah.
But most people don't really make music videos, I don't think, that are of any budget, not like they were in the heyday, because
Any consequence. Yeah.
They're all
back in the
sponsored now, too, aren't
90s, back
Yeah,
in the
you will find
90s, it wasn't unusual to see music videos with a budget of $1 million or more, and that's in over 30 years ago money, you know?
Well, I think going back to the great days of the 90s, we need to have a follow-up reboot of this wonderful, wonderful show. And we need to have Craig and Glenn be the main event. What do you guys know about that show?
Love it.
I remember when that show was on the regular MTV. Yeah.
Yeah, the old MTV.
So
Now,
Lord Daniel's got a big question.
Glenn and I did an interactive 3-minute Thursday, and our topic was movies, remake, reboot, and who would you cast? And we got some really good answers. And
do you have
one of our viewers suggested that David, Glenn, and Craig star in a remake of The Three Amigos, which I thought was pretty funny.
That's
I
like that to be more successful than
good.
the Witches of Eastwick remake, you know. But we'll gender swap.
As long as we're not the witches, I'm good.
Lord Daniel has a great question.
Yeah.
To figure out where we can see all this exclusive video and TV content. Dave, when does FNA Plus come out? Is it going to be subscription based, and what is the cost?
Yes. Once we can, Once we
Right.
complete our acquisition of Lucasfilm, because we are abandoning Netflix, we are taking over Lucasfilm, and we've got a really special solution for Jar Jar Abrams for what he did to the franchise.
Our first
once
move
we
is
do
going
that,
to
then you'll
burn the
find it.
Masters of Last Jedi and the whatever that last film was that wound up destroying all my.
I want an opportunity to invest.
They're gone. You
Charles
got it.
says,
You got it. Hey, we'll get you a production credit too, CJ.
I would love
We'll
to.
make you a producer on a film.
Well, that's the other thing I'll be competing with Bruce on, production credits. So let's get this going.
Yeah.
You got it. you can send your checks to Glenn Hausman at
Franklin and Marshall University.
See, everybody's
Good
gonna
answer, Glenn. Good
everybody's
answer.
going to send Glenn checks, but I live close to Glenn, so I'll just give him cash. So I'll get some extra credits. That would
Hey,
work
listen,
out.
that's what I
There you
like.
go.
And,
Hey,
Listen, guys, it's 2024. Just
also-
do Zelle.
I cleaned
Just
up on my bar
remember that-
mitzvah. My parents told me in my bar mitzvah that the checks needed to go in the college fund, but I could keep any of the cash that I got. And a lot of people came through, and I was able to buy a top-loading VCR in 1983, which was huge.
Wow.
$400, which was obscene money.
That's like $1,000.
Yeah, but I
How
freaking
much did
got that on
college
lockdown.
cost in the early 1980s?
I went to a state school. I started in 1988 at University of Maryland. I think on average it wound up with room and board about 10 grand a year. Now that's about one credit for one class for my kids.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's legalized loan sharking. That needs to be fixed.
So in 1983,
Hey, Clint disappeared. What's he
$100 has
doing?
the same purchasing power as $302.05. So extrapolate that times 4. Yeah, about $1,200 VCR you bought there, Glenn.
That's pretty crazy. It was
Yeah.
pretty freaking great. I got it at PC Richard. It was a lot of fun. And
PC Richards. Oh, wow.
yeah, and I remember, I'm forgetting the name of the movie now, but the first movie I ever watched on it, if anyone out there remembers, let me know. It was one of these weird horror movies, but it was about some sort of creature that lived on a beach that sucked up people from the beach. Or maybe it was
Friday Night Audit.
Kim is saying, could you put up Kim's thing real quick? All right, in College Park. Yes, I was in College Park, Maryland. I used to go to the Cellar was our big bar because they allowed me to go in with my fake ID that I printed on my home computer or my dorm room computer.
We chalked
On your dot matrix computer?
Yeah, bro. It was freaking great. Yeah.
I'm happy to report that the name of the movie was Blood Beach.
Yes.
There you go, David.
Never heard of that
David.
one. Wow.
I got to tell you, David, the past few weeks, you've stepped it up. You've taken command. You are the producer extraordinaire. Way to go.
Yes,
Just
that's
when you thought it was safe to go back in the water, you can't get to it.
Blood Beach. So that was the first movie I ever rented.
I might have to stream that tonight.
Kim says, live there, work for a company based in College Park. Kim, College Park was the first time I ever had my favorite fast food, Popeye's fried chicken, because they had one at the Greenbelt Mall in a little building out in the parking lot in the I think it was the Greenbelt Mall.
I really thought he was going to say In-N-Out, David.
No, I was East Coast boy. Yeah, 1981. That kind of tracks.
13% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is definitely something you're gonna have to watch.
So CJ, you could only stream it though on Flex. That was what I was.
What is Flex?
But it's free.
That's what you can stream in Blood Beach.
What is Rocco doing on there?
Oh, wait, hold on. Kim is saying Maryland. Oh, I had no idea you worked for. I guess they had the Kims and stuff like that. That's awesome. That's cool.
Nice.
So Suzanne's saying that we don't know.
They were located in Greenbelt, which was the same area. What?
Yes, we do, Suzanne. PC Richards is still around. Yeah, it's still around. That's
Suzanne, PC Richards is a tri-state area big deal thing. It's like 120 years old kind of family company. It's awesome.
The one by me is actually a boat. Believe it or not.
A boat. They got into the mattress racket about 15 years ago.
It used to be a Fry's.
We've never had a Fry's in this area.
Oh, okay.
It's legit the shape of a boat. It was like an old like
Look at
70s club or something,
Wow.
and they turned it into a PC Richard, and it's a boat.
Nice.
That's awesome.
One.
Oh, where's Glenn?
He
Right here.
disappeared. Don't tell anybody.
I'm gonna have to go turn my lights on soon. It's getting dark.
Hey, look at that. CJ got his shirt.
Yeah.
I told you,
Nice.
bring it.
Nice.
Nice.
But why aren't you wearing it, CJ?
Well,
It's cold in his house.
It's cold. It's a little
Since they had
chilly.
the heater on.
It's winter. I gotta wear a sweater. I gotta dress appropriatly. You know?
Turn the heat on.
Well,
Yeah.
it's expensive.
You live in Long Island. You got money.
So, for those of you who don't know, for like the years, the heat in our house, just something's not right. No matter how high up we turn the heat upstairs, it doesn't get right. It doesn't get in here. A space heater in here, all this kind of stuff. So we've been working on trying to figure it out. Some dude came in and figured it out. Apparently, there was some sort of motor that was burnt out and a signal wasn't going. It was a real quick fix. And I've been like living in an ice box for years. When and it was a problem that cost like $300 to get fixed with this guy who knew exactly what it was. But it took like forever to figure it out.
Probably would have been cheaper years ago.
dude.
Yeah, it would have been $100 3 years ago. So
Yeah,
But now
So,
it's
okay,
so
let me
warm in
ask-
your house. You're wearing a t-shirt.
Well,
now.
we have this
Exactly.
issue. We have this issue in my house where
it's the best.
if the rest of the house is warm, Annie in my room is like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
So we actually have to set the temperature in the house to 63 overnight so that we can sleep in a nice, comfortable room, and then turn it back up after we freeze our asses off coming downstairs at 6 in the morning.
Dave, where's your room in the house? Is it upstairs?
It's actually in
Yes.
the garage.
We have
Yes.
we have the same problem upstairs. It gets really hot up there.
But
We have
it's
this- yeah.
just
Rising.
my room. It's
Yeah.
just my room. It's not even my kids' room. You know, their rooms run hotter than downstairs too. But
we have those problems too. And I think part of the problem is that the temperature thermostat thing is like in our hallway, and all the other rooms get super hot, and there's no vent in the hallway, so it's all screwed up. So now I'm trying to figure out what I've got to tell the hallway that the temperature should be, but what I actually want to feel in all the rooms around it.
I
So,
think you should just demolish your house and rebuild. That's
Yeah,
really the only solution.
knock down all the
you
walls.
think I can do both
Easiest.
West Coast and East Coast, Dave? That's pretty impressive.
Based on your work schedule this year, yes, you can. Just cash in some Delta miles.
There you go.
I'm
And your
afraid
American
to use
Express
them.
miles.
Yeah. Yeah, Suzanne,
That's
my
why you have a
programmable
programmable
thermostat is
thermostat.
from
I
like the
love it.
1980s, and I don't understand how to program it. My wife does; she can handle it, but it's too much for me to want to deal with. So I'd rather just be cold.
We'll have to send you one of the Nest programmable thermostats.
Now, here's a question for you, and I have a very specific answer because people say that there's nothing worse than being in New York, and you could add Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota, any of these places, Boston, in the winter, and a true winter cold.
Right.
Do you
I would not say
prefer-
we have true winter cold. I feel badly for Minneapolis.
Correct.
All those type of people.
Would you
Or
prefer
Toronto.
though? Would you prefer to be in the cold, say like a really bad January day in Midtown,
Right.
or a mid-August humid heat day?
Oh, I'm all about this part of the country. Like, I like the idea of Florida right now, but when I was down there in Miami in January, it was humid, and I'm like, I'm not loving this.
Glenn literally answered a question I didn't ask.
I don't care, man.
I asked a very specific question.
I would
two
rather
options,
have a
and
cold
he's made
January
something
day
else.
than a humid day. I'm telling you a story here because that's what you got to do.
So would you rather? We literally gave two options.
David's going to stroke out, Glenn. Be nice.
I know.
Because I specifically said, would you rather be in New York City in February or August? It's like, well, in Miami, it's hot. And I'm like, well, that's good.
Dude, I'm trying to explain some context about how I can't handle humidity and stuff like that. So therefore, I would rather have a January day than a humid day.
No, I agree with that because, when it's cold and it's cold, you can layer up, you can wear heated coats, heated gloves. When it's too damn hot, you can't take off. Well, I guess you could really, especially in
can.
New York. You could in New York, especially. You can't take off all your clothes. So
That's a
it's just
naked
awful.
cowboy in Times Square.
You can, yeah.
Or any of the women that are walking around with their tops off, getting for tips. Yeah, there's opportunities.
That's true. Usually
Okay.
they paint themselves.
Glenn and I had nothing to do with that comment, so handsome
Yeah, I
David.
disavow. Susanna is saying
What,
Glenn, it
they
wasn't
walk with
that
their top.
bad.
Whoa! It's
I
a
was with
Times
you.
Square attraction. Whoa! There was nothing wrong with that comment. It's a Times Square attraction. It's just part of being in Times Square now.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
the same thing as with those really weird looking Mickey and Minnie Mouse kind of character
Yep.
things. So Suzanne is saying, Glenn, it wasn't that bad. I was with you, really. No, it wasn't that bad. But the fact that there was humidity in January scared me a little bit. Yeah, in August is horrible. I've been down to like Disney and stuff in August, and I
Well,
just want to kill myself between attractions.
Did you see the? It was like a while back when we were going through that deep freeze up here. It was like 2 degrees, and it was like 2 degrees, then like 20 degrees. I think Atlanta was like 30 degrees. Northern Florida, the Panhandle was like 50, and then Miami was like 95.
Yeah. Well, like right below Orlando, there's this like weather line, and that's like where just like everything becomes tropics, It's like then everything below it is freaking hot all the time.
Who would have thought a place that's basically in the Caribbean would have Caribbean style weather?
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy. Crazy to think.
I just couldn't handle the hurricanes.
You guys
randomly
on the
coming
East Coast,
through.
What do you do for heating? Is it a fuel that you have a truck bring in every month? Is it electric?
My parents do that. I have natural
gas?
gas. I have a natural gas line from the town.
The guy from Sloman showed up today and filled our tank.
That's what Glenn said.
But they just know.
Okay.
They just show up. They just know when to show up based on like algorithms and shit. So it's awesome.
Yeah.
My parents my parents' house is the same way. Now we have a natural gas line that feeds right in. It feeds my heat, it feeds my fireplace, and it feeds my grill. It's wonderful.
What about your stove and oven?
Yeah, I guess it feeds that. I guess it feeds them too.
Yeah. See,
Listen,
now we got natural gas out here. It's either that or electric.
We got to work on better topics for this.
Well, in New York, it's illegal to build, or at least New York City is illegal to build a new development without electric gas or electric stove. Or is that New York as a whole? Is it the city or is it the whole state?
I don't know.
We have weird laws in the state and city.
Who's waiting for congestion pricing, baby? Coming soon to a city near you.
I hope it's not the whole state because I really don't like my stove and I'd like to get a new one if I
thought you got a new stove.
We don't love it. I mean, it's already like we got that like 4 years ago, man.
Has it been that long? Holy shit.
Yeah.
And what is it? What fuel?
It's gas, natural gas.
Okay.
Yep, it is statewide. New York becomes the first state to ban natural gas stoves and furnaces in most new buildings. So it is a statewide.
Well, new buildings.
New buildings.
New buildings.
So I don't have a new building. Mine is an existing structure. So hence, therefore, if I could get it, I would totally buy that shit in Jersey and then just like import it in, like throw it in a truck, get one of those $20 an hour Home Depot rentals, drive it out here and do that sort of thing.
I got a pickup truck.
Can you see Glenn driving a Home Depot?
Start the back, Glenn.
I've never seen someone's car so mismatched to their personality. It's the most amazing thing.
Everybody says that. I drive my pickup truck out east to the vineyards. I'm there in my salmon chinos and whatnot and dress shirt. I walk out. Everyone goes, "What is going on here?"
If it was like one time I got a yellow pickup truck rental because that's the only thing they have, and like my wife still talks about it. Like you do not belong in that.
I love it.
Yeah, pickup trucks are great.
So let's go back to Lord. Now we're coming on the end of the show. Let's go back to Lord Daniel's question from the top.
Yep.
This is going to go around the room, though. He specifically said it for CJ. We're going to go around the block. CJ, you're going to watch the Super Bowl. I'm a Swift fan, by the way, apparently. So you're going to watch the game, and who you got?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to the NFL at all.
Yeah, my first question would be, who's playing other than Taylor Swift?
Yeah. Is
she the quarterback? Because I keep hearing a lot about that young lady.
I feel like I got to go against the Chiefs. Yeah.
Well, I know the Jets aren't in it.
Yeah.
They're not. The Jets did not make it. I'm trying to pull up some of the better prop bets they got going on. I did see one bet that was getting, I think it was like 1,000,000 to 1 odds or something like $100,000 to 1 odds, some crazy number that the game would end in a tie due to an alien invasion. That is a live bet that you can put money on.
That's
what are the odds?
I would like to know what their definition of aliens is.
Plus 1 million.
Is it a bunch of unruly illegal Mexicans, or is it people from other worlds? I mean, that'll wind up in the courts for years. What?
Then it's you and I, and we come out of the ceiling at Allegiant Field.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the guy? I know you saw because I sent it to you the video. The guy climbing the sphere.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't see this.
Yes,
apparently it was some sort of protest or something, right?
It was a pro-life activist. I just watched. There was actually a video of his buddy filming of him starting the climb, and then security running over and trying to kick the buddy out. Obviously, this guy was halfway up the damn sphere already, so he couldn't do anything to him. But he legit climbed the sphere and got to the top. And you know what? Honestly, give him some credit. That takes a lot of strength to do that.
Yeah. The first one.
Yeah.
Yes, but I'm sure not to be the last.
Right.
Sounds like that. It sounds like that could be a good for charity challenge.
It's going to be a new. Yeah, it's going to be a new show in Vegas. Climb the sphere.
But I do believe that there's a door at the top of the sphere.
Arnie.
Yeah.
There probably is. I mean, to get onto the roof, you got to fix paneling and things like that. I mean, eventually the lights are going to crap out on it.
Yeah.
I saw this year too. We were talking about the shows and entertainment things and how nobody's really signed up as much yet. I saw they're doing just like plain old movie showings on the Sphere, like kind of
They created Darren Aronofsky created a movie specifically for that.
Yeah, and they've got a whole studio here in Burbank that's tied to Warner Brothers, where they're developing cameras and other gear and also specific films. I don't know.
There's another movie in production already.
The next Sphere that was supposed to be built was in London, and I think that's run into some.
It did. It got axed.
Yeah. Oh, they canceled it already?
Well, the problem is it's not on MSG's fault. It's nobody wants that fucking billboard.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I did see the London people were fighting that pretty hard.
Amazing for Vegas, but I don't know how good that is.
Okay, so where else could a Sphere work? Macau, maybe?
Biloxi?
Macau.
But I don't know if it would work in Macau because they learned a lesson the hard way early on that everybody goes to Macau to sit at tables for 24 hours straight and then go home.
Yeah.
So the malls and the shows and all of that stuff don't work in the same way. So the Sphere probably wouldn't work there either.
Now, would you think that they could put a Sphere in Hudson Yards?
Oh,
I'm not even kidding.
I do think they could do something like that, but they wouldn't obviously because they already
have the garden's right there. Yeah. Okay, so do you think there's any opportunity for them to redevelop? Because they're talking about redeveloping the garden and moving it actually not too long ago.
But
would they redevelop that into a Sphere and then have the basketball game somewhere else?
Well, here's the problem with the way that they're doing it now, and I love that you have the images on the outside, and part of the thought of making money is to sell the ads on the outside. But you can't have that if you're in a city where there's residences around it. Hudson Yards happens to be a weird thing because it's a little bit underdeveloped compared to everywhere else it seems on the in the planet. But at some point you had to find the right balance between them being able to make money off of having that kind of vibe versus the community and what it does to the community. So I think it's a really tough sell. Generally speaking, outside Vegas,
if you could do something like that in Los Angeles, I think the right location, but there's a caveat with this, would be at SoFi Stadium, that whole NFL complex. But does all that light and the way that it shifts from one scene to the next to a different, artwork impede the air traffic control with LAX?
Funny. That's interesting because I was thinking it would work maybe in Philly, out where they have the stadium complex, for example.
Yeah, but I don't think Philly's a big enough market to house the tennis.
No, it's not. But and again, if it's out there, there's nobody out there, so the ads are showing to nobody. So I think it's a real tough thing.
Plus, that whole area is pretty empty if there's no games going on outside of Philadelphia Live.
Yeah.
What do you think about the ads on for something like that? All of these electronic billboards and everything else, CJ.
Well, I mean, I think they have to be, marketed appropriately, like you said. I mean, like there are certain areas, a lot of concerns that you guys brought up, residential areas and whatnot. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna pull in what they expect. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, have they added anything else really? Kind of important, or
David's never looked better. Look at that.
Besides Fish.
Well, Dead and Company just announced
a
whole slew of shows, and then they added 9 more on top of that. I think that Dead and Company.
I don't know what that is.
The remnants of the Grateful Dead and
a couple of guys that are still alive, and John Mayer. So they're playing every weekend from May 22nd into sometime in July now at the Sphere, 3 nights each weekend.
So what is the target demo they're going for with U2 and the Grateful Dead and Fish?
People who have enough money to be able to afford how ridiculous the aftermarket
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Is that what they're charging?
Thousands.
No.
Thousands.
Yes and no. Fish tickets were $180 per ticket when they went on sale.
Okay.
The Dead tickets were, I think, 140 to 150 range, but the secondary market tickets are going for these Fish shows for $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 per night per ticket.
What?
I mean,
Get
I'm
out
just
of
looking.
here.
I'm looking through the calendar right now, and there's really nothing happening here except for the Sphere Experience, the video you guys just talked about. There's nothing happening here.
Well, there is. I mean, right now they're going to go into a lull. YouTube plays some more shows through I think the first weekend of March, right after Craig's conference, I think is the last weekend that they're doing shows. Then they're down for a month, and they got the 4 fish shows, and then they got every weekend from May 22nd through the beginning of July, and at some point they're going to announce another big residency.
Somebody big's going in there for the 4th of July weekend. That'll be
pretty cool. All right, real quick before we get to the best part of the show, Nikki Fox has a question: have or would any of you go skydiving?
Nope.
No, there's no fucking reason to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. No.
I did feel really good about doing the soaring over California ride at California.
Now, I have been up in a glider in Hawaii, and it was amazing.
I did the thing where you have that glider thing attached to you, and you're on a rope and on a boat over the water.
Yeah.
Parasailing.
Done that
was a lot of fun. I wasn't worried because I'd float gently down into the water.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing anything that can end with a hard bang on.
No way.
No, not jumping out of a plane. No.
For fun, no.
Yeah.
For fun, no.
Right.
Yeah. The flight attendant goes, "Here, put this on and jump." Then that's a different story.
Right.
Oh Lord. Well, that's why we are at this part of the show now. Riveting content.
Everybody's out-time favorite part of the show. Yeah, the Plug and Palooza, where we get to shamelessly plug everything we want. CJ, you're up first because you're the guest. What do you got for us this week, buddy?
Well, this is an easy one. I'm going to be at the Click Conference, clickconference.com. I'll be there in March with everybody else here. So I would suggest that go to the website, attend the conference. I'll be there.
And also, let me say, one of his clients, My Place Hotels, their CEO is on Tea Talks today. So go check that out.
Yeah, saw that.
Thanks for that plug.
Dave?
Go skydiving. It's awesome. Do it.
Emily Capiello says skydiving is awesome.
She's in the other room. Yes, she's gone skydiving
Hi, Emily.
before.
Emily's got to be on Click. So when is she coming on the show?
Let's schedule it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't go skydiving for fun. Just that's the thing. Jumping out of a plane for no reason at all. No, I'm not doing it.
Right. If I was a Bond villain's henchman, I might, but until then, I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a knife in your boot?
What's your plug? No plug, Dave?
Oh, I just did mine. I said skydiving.
Oh, that's it? That was it?
That's it. Right. I got nothing else to plug. I'm not doing anything in my life. My life is boring.
No, you are. I think you are going to be at the California Lodging Investment Conference, March 6th and 7th. Craig, are you familiar with this event at all?
I am. Just a little. Yes. 7th Annual California Lodging Investment Conference, March 6th and 7th. The West and South Coast Plaza Hotel in beautiful Costa Mesa, California. Join us. We've still got some seats. We've got networking. We've got brands. We've got lenders, hotel lenders still making loans. Okay. We've got Glenn Hausman. We've got David. We've got CJ. We've got owners, management companies. Bruce Ford.
Oh,
yeah, we've also got
how to get
Artie
Bruce Ford in there, guys.
my manager, there. So it's a great event. We're focused exclusively on the California hotel market, and everybody that you need for a deal is in one room. So join us. Register at cliconference.com.
I love it. I want to tell everybody I will be appearing here all weekend, the Houseman Resort Pool Club and Smokehouse, because I'm off the road and all alone. It's just me and many cats. Yeah. So I got that going on, and next week I'll be heading out to NEWH's annual conference on Saturday, February 15th. I'm going to be participating in a panel about starting your own podcast, how to make it work, and all the secrets that you need to know in order to be successful at that. Then the following week, I will be in Fort Worth, Texas. I'll be hosting Remington Hospitality's event, and then I'll be doing my favorite panel here. Hey, I'll be doing my favorite panel of the year, whatever Craig tells me I'm doing at his event. So that'll be great. Can't wait to see everyone there. Thanks for tuning in to the one and only Friday Night Audit. We'll be
You're
back
right,
next
Arnie. I'll
week.
buy everybody lunch.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. And until then, have a good night. Bye.
Aloha.
See you guys.
Okay.